Hello, everybody, and welcome to another early episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game and financial news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. And remember that this show is kid-friendly.
Yes.
So
Court's not here. Court's not here, so it will be kid-friendly throughout the whole episode.
That's right. I'm one of your hosts, Wobble Plays, alongside, I don't know.
What are we going to say today?
I don't know. I was going to say the purple people eater because your background is purple.
But yours is also purple, so we would be purple per pie eaters. I don't know.
True.
Purple
so yeah,
people
as is tradition when it's just Pez and I, it's gonna go off the rails. We've got some fun topics. We've got some video games, some other stuff that we find interesting. But what have you been up to this week? What's new?
Nothing really. It's soccer season. So soccer season has officially sprung in the old Pezzy household. So she is doing town travel. So that's three events a week, 2 practices in a game. Then today started, well, she's trying out, but I think she'll make the team. Middle school soccer.
Oh.
Which was 4 events a week. So she has 7 soccer events every week. Monday, double practice. Tuesday, Wednesday practice, or a game for middle school. I don't know what the schedule is yet. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 days of soccer.
It's
going to be amazing.
That sounds lovely.
And so last year, so soccer's open 6th through 8th grade, and she didn't play last year. And I was like, you should really play. And really what I want her to get ready for, because she tells me she wants to play high school, is just to get in the flow of practicing every day.
That's right.
And that's what I told her. I said, I want you to get used to practicing every day because you're going to do it after school every day. I said, so this will tell you if you like it or not. Because if you don't like it next year, don't try out for it. You can just go get a job or do something else. Yeah, Market Basket, man. They hire
can work in the mines.
That's right. The kids yearn for him. The new Minecraft movie trailer told me so.
Oh God, that's right. Oh my.
Absolute garbage, dude. Jack Black will throw his name onto any piece of work now. It does not matter. He does not care.
He's just himself.
He's just like, hey, I'm Jack Black. I'm gonna be in Borderlands. I'm gonna be Unknown Man in Minecraft. I'm gonna be the guy in. See, I didn't even watch the Minecraft trailer because I don't care. I'm gonna be one of the guys
has
Jumanji.
Stooped.
Hey, Jason Momoa, by the way, coming to Danvers. If you're looking to get yourself an autograph, he is selling some sort of liquor, and so you have to buy a bottle and he'll autograph the bottle.
Oh, I remember when I went to Comic-Con, the first time I heard women scream in real life, in movies,
shriek.
Someone comes by,
yeah,
it's when he walked out for his photo op. I was in line to meet probably Devo or Mercy because I'm a man of
fine taste.
That's and I heard and I look over and it's just Momoa's and his abs. Which honestly, I shrieked too. That was me. I mean,
who doesn't want to shred a block of cheddar on those abs? You know what I mean?
But shout out to him going the rock move and selling some booze. I like that.
So he did it, and a few years ago, Dan Aykroyd did it, and I didn't go, and I'm very upset.
Oh, are you gonna go to this one?
No, because I don't care about Jason Momoa.
Take that, nerd.
Yeah, the only thing I've liked him in was Game of Thrones. He was only in for the first season, and that was it.
That's all right. Yeah.
But yeah, so just like soccer, and it was Labor Day weekend here in the States, so a bunch of traveling to family's house and friends' houses. Didn't play that many games. So yeah, that's about it. What about you? What'd you get after?
So on Thursday, I went to the first night of Porter Robinson's Smile Tour. If you don't know who Porter Robinson is, you've probably heard one of his songs. I use Shelter, which is a very sad. If you're a dad, go watch his music video for Shelter. It's anime style. It will make you cry. It hits different when you got a kid, specifically a daughter.
I'd
And
be
he has
weeping like
one
a baby, dude.
dude, I'm telling you, man, that's a sad song. But it was cool, great to see it live. He does a lot of EDM, like sad boy music. Like he flexes genres every now and then. Like he started with like, he's performed at like Bonnaroo, with like one of those sound pad boards. Now he had like a live band performing like his like electric music. And it's really well produced. And I was like, why is he here, Berkeley? That's why, because you don't have to do an instrument anymore. You just need to be good on a computer and be able to sing.
There you go.
Which was really cool, and it was great to kind of see him live. And like he like forgot his lyrics on one of them, but I loved it. He played the whole new album, which I love because it goes from like really cool and pop to like, oh my gosh, sad boy.
Yeah.
Played
You're all
every
about
song of
that
his I like,
emo-
and then some. Oh,
that
you know it.
Emo DM.
It was really I don't know. It was cool. Good crowd. Some of them didn't stand by me, which is weird. But also
Wait, what?
I know, right? It's because it's nerds, dude. He did a song for Dota too, which is really also sad, but really
Dota
good.
2 or Dota as well?
Dota as well.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it was League of Legends, one of those nerdy games.
Who knows? One of those games no one likes.
Doesn't
Speaking
matter.
of games no one likes, no, I'm kidding.
Right. But check out his movies. Like it's good. It reminds me a little bit of Anamanaguchi in a way. And one thing I think is cool. So there are songs that I play on my stream. Like people have probably heard it if you listen, hang out my stream. I thought he had a woman who would sing with him. It's not. It's him with a filter.
Oh, really?
It's wild to discover that.
Wild.
And the song switches between male and female voices, and it's him like hitting a button throughout. It was, and he harmonies with himself like on an album, but like here he had like a backing band. It was cool, but like I didn't realize that was him singing until it's like, come on, and it's like a high,
that's pretty dope.
Woman's voice, and pretty also dope. Too, he uses a Vocaloid, which is like a sound bank in some songs. That's an instrument, so really? He can play the sounds on his keyboard. It's very cool, very nerdy. Loved it. First day of the whole tour. It was in Boston, and tickets were cheap too, which is great, even though it was like packed. Yeah.
Where was it in Boston?
Like, with fans. MGM Fenway. Love the venue.
I've never been there. I don't even know where it is. Is it near Fenway?
Yeah, it's next to Jillian. Well, not Jillian's. Lucky Strike or
whatever. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I know where it is. I've never
really
been there.
Nice. They've got like the whole marquee, and it's funny, like going in, the guy's like, "Can I see your ID?" I'm like, "Man, I'm not drinking." He's like, "I have to ask." I'm like, "Dude, I'm too cheap to drink." Like, I'm like, "Just give me an X." He's like, "You're old enough. Just take a band." I was like, "All right." So,
give me an X. Give me an X. I'm an X boy.
Like, I'm not drinking, dude. No, it was great. It was I've seen 3 concerts this summer. I know we talked about concerts last time. Porter Robinson, I would rank number 1. Miku, I would rank a very close number 2, and Blink I would put 3rd. Because I hate the Xfinity Center.
Fair.
Because
big fair.
It's big, and also too, they have a lot of songs I don't like. Blink.
Oh, interesting.
Because they played for so long that when they broke up, I stopped. Like even before that, I stopped listening because I was like, "This music's not for me." But there's a whole generation of people that vibe with it.
Yeah,
it's just not my
cup of tea.
Decade, which is fine.
Your decade.
And also too, indoor venues are the best.
I would agree with that.
Me.
I agree with that.
I just can't.
Did you bring earplugs?
I bought new earplugs that are more expensive. I will say this: I take them out for the main event, and I put them in for songs that I don't want, and it helps kind of save it, because I will notice I need to buy better ones, because I feel like you don't hear enough or a lot.
Interesting.
But also too, like, I don't want to ruin my ears, and my ears weren't ringing totally fine, warm for the opener, like. But the cool thing, the opener, who was like super nervous, the set for him was like a bed and a desk with a monitor on it and a projector on a small like thing. It was like, and he basically said, he goes, "I'm so nervous. I've never opened before. I love Porter Robinson. I like grew up like listening to him." He's like, "And I can just hang out and sing for you guys in my room. It's like I'm here." And he would like lay on the bed. It was like really kind of funny.
That's pretty dope. I like that a lot.
It was cool, like rap type music, but then he would have like on the projector, it was like 360 no scopes and God.
Really? Oh man, I love that even more. Love it even more.
This dude's kind of fire. He also did one of the League or Dota songs, but fun. I liked it. So that's what's been going on with me. Now, I told you I want to talk about something that's been in the news, and I kind of alluded to before about financial news. So for those of you know, if you haven't heard this story, it's going to be very interesting. And Pez has not. I told him, do not look into this. And also too, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. So There has been something going around in the news called the Chase money glitch. It was made popular on 4chan and TikTok.
Oh God, here we go. Here
So-
we go. Here we go. Sure. Why not?
So
Why not?
We're at a good start.
Yep.
This is the two worst places of primary information. So what was happening is somebody said, and he figured out, and he called it a money glitch, like it's GTA, right? Because that's how real life works. That if you go and open a Chase bank account, you can deposit a check for whatever amount you want, and they will make it available in your account because they don't check right away. There's a little bit of a grace period.
Yeah.
So essentially what people were doing was they were creating bank accounts at Chase, or they were using theirs. They were writing checks for maybe like $10,000, some people up to like $100,000 for money that they didn't have in there. And then immediately they were doing a mobile deposit, which is how it worked. And then they were going to the ATM and withdrawing that money. So people thought that this was a money glitch and that this was free money. Do you see the problem in this?
Yes. I believe it's called fraud. Now, I could be saying my English wrong. It could be fraud. However, highly illegal.
This is a felony called kiting.
What's it called? Kiting?
It's kiting. It's check kiting. It's basically overdrafting knowingly with money you don't have. This was like the plot to Catch Me If You Can, except the difference between Catch Me If You Can is he was making fake checks from a business, pretending to be a pilot, and then going to other banks and getting the cash. That was how he got away with it. Again, in a video game. I'm not teaching you guys how to commit crimes. In a video game. But what these people were doing in a video game was they were using their account that they opened with their name, their date of birth, their social security number, their address, using the account they pay their bills out of, where they put in the chip and there's cameras looking at them dead in the face as they withdraw $10,000.
That is ridiculous. The dumbest brain rot people to go to an ATM where it has a camera looking at you, write a check with your name on it, sign it yourself, put it, mobily deposit it, and then take the money out and be like, yeah, the bank's never going to know what happened. Never going to know what happened. You know who would fall for this? Stupid teenage me would be like, this is the craziest thing in the world.
So the crazy part, they're basically, these folks were creating fraud against themselves.
Yeah, that's even stupider than like trying to just defraud a company or a bank. It's like you are just doing illegal activity against yourself.
So this is only half of it. So you're not only you're committing a crime,
really? Yes, give me more.
So not only are you committing a felony, by the way, this felony for check fraud, for like check hiding, it carries a penalty for up to 30 years in prison and up to $1 million in fine.
Are you for real?
This is a huge felony, and also Chase Bank is owned by JP Morgan, which will ensure they get their money back from your great grandchildren. Like,
of course they will.
So
these people are screwed.
Not only are they committing felonies,
I love every second of it.
Is because this was popular on TikTok. People were recording themselves and posting.
Oh my god! Felonies, are you for real?
And posting it on the internet for everyone to see.
Are you for real?
Now there's a record of people committing these crimes that they were putting on their own TikTok. So this happened over the long weekend. So what happened today was that people got a negative amount in their bank account, and because I've been watching like videos on this, including from Chase Bank, people like were like, "Oh, I work in customer service. Here's how my day went," calling and saying, "I have a negative like $40,000 balance. Why?" And they're like,
"You for real? Why?
You overdrafted by $40,000."
Oh my god, people are so stupid.
Also, too, what happened is, let's say someone had like $1,000 in their account and they overdrafted. They basically wrote a check for $5,000. They're like, "Where'd that money go? I need that for bills." And they're like, "Well, we took it because you owe us. So we're gonna take all your money that was in there, like correctly,
and
until
then
you pay this
still
back.
Owe us $4,000 or whatever." And they're like, "I don't understand. Why do I owe you all this money? I have to pay my T-Mobile bill."
This is a huge thing that's happening, and now what Chase is doing is obviously they know who did it. So now they're handing this over to the authorities, and we're going to hear more about this. But It's just the fact that, I mean, obviously financial literacy is a problem. Like, they don't teach taxes. They don't teach, like, they barely even teach like how to write a check in school. So like, who it's very like, who knows how to write a check anymore? Like the fact that this was able to like work is also a problem. Like with their like audit department, like people are gonna get fired. You can't have that type of like lax type,
No.
for something like this to happen. But it does show that there's like definitely like a financial literacy problem. And that's not new. I think even in school, I think the closest thing we had was like entrepreneur class, and like that's
Yeah,
not
they don't teach us. Like my 20-year-old called my wife and was like, "Oh, my boyfriend and I, they've been together for like going on 5 years. Oh, we're thinking of moving out." They live with his dad, and they're like, "We're thinking of moving out and getting our own apartment." And my wife's like, "Did you do a budget?" She was like, "What?" I'm like, God, I have failed you, child. I was like,
Yeah.
"A budget, dude." She's like, "You need to take your income, not your yearly income, what you make after taxes. Write that down. So every 2 weeks, if you get paid, total that up. Take out your rent. Is anything included? Utilities? Nope. Okay, great. Estimate $100 in electricity, $100 in gas a month. Now do your food. Now do your car insurance. Now do your car payment. How much you have left? If it is like within 20%, don't do it. If it is negative, definitely don't do it. And she was like, this is called a budget. This is what Greg does. This is what Greg does all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh, man.
They don't teach that.
They don't teach that because they only care about scores and stuff like that, which is, somewhat less our generation's fault, again, more the boomers' fault, but also, man, bring back like home ec, teach these kids how to cook because they don't know how. Teach them how to be able to do like, bring back shop, teach them how to like do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bring that back and teach them financial literacy because a lot of people our age do not have it.
No. And what's challenging too is, again, the concept of money is now like this like fake arbitrary number in an account. So like you don't have like cash anymore where you have to physically feel that, and it's just, oh, I'm just going to do this thing. So like my daughter did a lemonade stand. She got $20. So we had her bring it and she bought a toy for herself. Now she doesn't know I reimbursed her account. Like, she doesn't need to. That's not the lesson. But she like told me the other day, she's like, I didn't like the part where I had to give them my dollars. I'm like, yeah, that's how it be.
That's how it
Same.
be. Very easy just to swipe a card, tap your phone onto the thing, do the thing. But I hope every single person that did that chase money glitch
like it's a
goes destitute because they deserve it for being so stupid.
And also because it's happening on such a wide scale, some people are saying that it could qualify for like a RICO, which is like an organized
dude, a RICO is insane. A RICO is absolutely insane. And imagine going away and they're like, "What did you do?" And the guy's like, "I'm a narc." And they're like, how would you narc on your crew? He's like, "I told them who started the Chase Bank money glitch."
It's wild that people called it a glitch, and it's all over TikTok, and like I'm seeing all like the stories and stuff. And also too, there are people taking fake bank account screenshots of their account in the negative from Chase and making videos for content. Now they didn't do it, but they're faking videos where
unbelievable.
They say that they committed a felony.
It's insane. It is truly insane stuff. I just like, who in their right mind was like, yeah, this is a great idea. No, it should be nobody. And the person who like originated it should get 50 years in jail. I hope it's some like 19-year-old kid and he just comes out and he's 70 years old. And all he did was defraud Chase Bank because JP Morgan will hunt him down. They'll hunt his kids down. And when they're all dead, they'll hunt down his kids' kids.
Yeah,
they're
going to get theirs. And like, again, this story I find fascinating and I wanted to bring it up, and that's why I didn't want you to look into it, because I think hearing it for the first time, and hopefully some of the folks, this is their first time hearing it, unless you're like chronically online like I am, like it's just unreal.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
stupid crazy stuff.
I'll keep you guys updated if I hear anything new, but that's the Chase money glitch. Do not do it.
No, don't do it.
It's a felony.
Hashtag not a lawyer. Hashtag not an accountant.
Not
Don't
your
do it.
lawyer.
Technically,
Not
I
your
am.
lawyer.
I could be an accountant, but I'm not your accountant.
Not
Don't
your
do it.
accountant. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Speaking,
I don't
can
know.
I give
I
you
don't know how to
another?
segue.
I'll
Do you have a
segue.
segue?
Can I give you another don't do activity? Don't play Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
I was like, I have no idea how you're gonna get out of this, and you're like, oh yeah, this stinks too. Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness, I didn't expect that.
So, all right, here's the thing. Shout out to Court who hooked me up with a code for Black Ops 6, the beta over the weekend. Played a little bit of it, like didn't play as much as I wanted to, honestly, because I didn't enjoy it. Now, you all know, old Call of Duty head, Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, not the Modern Warfare 2 that came out in like 2019. My jam, loved it. Me and my friends played it every Friday night to the point where it was sniper rifles and C4s and talking about your family and how terrible they were, and it was great.
Yep.
Great time. As I've gotten older, my Twitch gaming skills have gone down.
Yep.
This Call of Duty, I thought like I was on some sort of caffeine-ridden drug. It was like the fastest movement in the world. You could dive and like, it wasn't just diving forward. You could dive in like, 360 degrees. It was craziness. I didn't enjoy it. It feels like the essence of Call of Duty is now gone. It's like totally this like esport clip show, TikTok clip, cheating. There's already cheating in it. I've seen clips on Twitter and Reddit of people already with like wall hacks and stuff like that. And it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. It was like team deathmatch. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And I was like, I got to do it because of the content and talk about it on the show, but I didn't like it. And it just, to me, feels like Call of Duty's kind of lost its way. And it's becoming, it started as like military, like not mil sim, really. Like, it's not like military simulation, like maybe a Hell Let Loose or something like that. But it was in that vein when it first started. And now it's just like military Fortnite, more or less. We're going to give you silly skins. We're going to have a ton of marijuana references. It's going to be like adult Fortnite, where you can pay for your battle pass and deal with all the hackers and talk all the garbage you want. And I wasn't about it. So maybe it was a personal preference, but I sat there I probably played it for like 2 hours on and off throughout the weekend. And I was like, nothing made me, even when I did well, even when I got my like 10-2, 8-3, which to me, I'm like, that's pretty good because I have old man hands now. I was like, I don't care. I don't care to play this. I'm not going to play it, even if it comes out on Game Pass, which it will. I don't care. Not for me. Maybe I'll play Warzone with my buddies, but I doubt it because like, it's just not a game that we care to play anymore, other than my brother, who will forever be a Call of Duty head. For us, it's like we'd rather play games like Space Marine 2, right, or Sea of Thieves or whatever. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, not my bag anymore. Did not enjoy it. Will not be playing it. 0 out of 10. Cannot recommend.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of it, and it definitely, like, I haven't been playing Call of Duty for a while. I like the Modern Warfare like stories. I don't like the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Honestly, one of my favorite single player first person shooter.
Is that the Jon Snow one?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Jon Snow.
I thought that part. I don't think he needed to be in the game, frankly, but I thought the story overall was really good. So, that was like the first time they started going like, I feel like jumping the shark a little bit. Not in terms of like in terms of like, oh, we're gonna introduce space and Mars. Like, okay, but like I saw the omnidirectional. Someone jumped out of a window, floated, and then like no scoped someone, and it's like, okay, like this is fun, this is fair. And then also to the you can take people hostage now. I'm not going to go too into detail about some of the clips. You can look them up yourself. But as soon as you take someone hostage and use them as a human shield, you can now talk to them. And
poor grandma.
Yeah, it's just
poor grandma at the
Call of Duty. If you're gonna play this game, and you live with your parents, put headphones on. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're gonna take away your Xbox.
If I can give a tip out there to all you PS5ers, turn off your controller speaker. Because you will wake mom and dad up when someone's screaming racial slurs through your controller.
It's so wild. Like it's like a feature that like sounds good in a brainstorm session, but once you like actually like vet it out, it's like
It's
okay,
horrible.
well, here are all the risks.
No one has used their PS5 controller microphone for good. Yeah, nobody.
Never.
I remember playing NHL 24 like drop-ins or the one-on-one, the 3v, the ones thing, and just like immediately muting it and immediately just turning my speaker off because people were just like, I'm like, dude, I do. It's NHL 24. I do not care.
Yeah, and now they're giving you a chance to do this in Call of Duty, which is I would consider a toxic game, like in terms of like the community.
Slight, yeah.
And when you're in a vulnerable position. So also too, if you have kids, if they're not older kids, but they want to play,
no,
do your research. I'm not going to tell you what to buy, folks, but just make sure you do your research so you're comfortable with some of the things that are in game.
Don't let your kids play that stupid game. Let them play Fortnite.
Okay,
let them play Fortnite. Let them play Roblox. Maybe not Roblox. Maybe let them go play Minecraft or Toker World or whatever. They don't need to play Call of Duty. No one needs to play Call of Duty. Better games are out there. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 sucks and blows. Next.
Put that on
the back of the box. Sucks and blows. 3 dads on a console.
Can you imagine? That would be the best. So now one thing I want to talk about, and we're gonna do a fun little game, and I've been looking forward to this all day. I've been hyping it up in our group chat. So the game Concord was released on the 23rd, and there was a lot of feedback about it. The player base continuing to dwindle under 1,000 players, and then ultimately the other day, yesterday, they said that they're going to close the servers on 9/16, which is 14 days, 2 full weeks. So what I thought would be a fun game with Mr. Pezzy Boy here would be to play a game of which lasted longer. Welcome to the game show, folks. I'm your host, Wobble Plays, and we're going to play which lasted longer. We're going to ask Pez a question, and it's going to say which lasted longer, this topic or Concord. And I want you all to play at home. I want you all to play at home and let us know in the comments below what you think or if any of these answers surprise you. Pez, hi, how are you? Tell us what about yourself. Where are you from?
Hi, I'm doing real well. My name is Pez. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I like long walks on the beach. I like vanilla cherry Coke Zero. I enjoy my coffee black. I enjoy my nights blacker. And I am really excited to be here. Thank you.
There we go. Give it up for Pez. All right. So remember, this game was only out for 14 days. Which lasted longer? Concord or writing the Declaration of Independence?
Oh, okay. All right. So let's talk this through a bit.
So it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. July 4th, 1776, ratified, ready to go. When did it start? I'm going to say, knowing my homie, Thomas Jefferson, John Quincy Adams, George Washington, George Bush, all there, hanging out, having a good time. Maybe 10 years later, his son George W. was there. Unknown. I'm going to say, writing the Declaration of Independence took longer than Concord being out.
So the answer is, so actually, I know you got confused. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration, and it took him 17 days between June 11th and June 28th, 1776. It outlined unalienable rights, including the freedom of unfair taxation on tea, goods, and live service games from the British. True story. So Pez is correct.
Thank you.
On number 1. All right.
Shout out Abe Lincoln for ratifying the Declaration.
Oh, Not a not your not a historian, not your
Hashtag not a history teacher.
Do not teach your kids from Pez. For history. All right, question number 2. What lasted longer, Concord or Paul McCartney of the Beatles' 1980 incarceration? This was not for,
you for
check
real?
kiting.
Is this a real question?
It's a real question. This was not for check kiting. Don't worry. So
what was the? Can you tell me the charge?
Do I want to? Yeah, I will, because it makes it interesting. He was arrested in Tokyo for having half a pound of cannabis. And Japan is very strict on their drug laws.
I am going to say Concord lasted longer, but I'm going to say that Paul McCartney was in jail for 12 days.
So you are right that Concord lasted longer.
Bang.
McCartney was arrested in Tokyo for 9 days for having half a pound of cannabis. He was actually not allowed back in the country until 10 years later when he decided to tour there.
So what was that? What'd you say? 80? He was
1980. He came back in 1989, 1990.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I looked up celebrity jail times less than 2 weeks.
Amazing.
And this was one that was close to it. All right. Question number 3. You're on a roll, by the way. Question number 3. Which lasted longer, Concord or the average time of an actual space shuttle mission? This is, on average, how long do the space shuttle missions last? So a fake space compared to real space.
Ooh, what has lasted longer? Concord at 14 days or average time space shuttle mission? Does this include shuttles like the Challenger blowing up?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Or if it does, you have outliers on both sides.
Yeah. I'm going to say that the space missions are longer.
So the answer is space shuttle missions. The average duration is about 16 days, which means that you can go to space, complete your mission, and come back. And Concord would have came and gone if you went the day before.
If you went to space and came back, imagine if you went to space. You pre-ordered Concord and you were like, this is my gift when I get back to Earth. Right? And you go up into space, dude, and you're like letting the ants out, eating the chips, doing whatever you're doing up in space. You come back and you turn on your PlayStation 5 and they're like, we have refunded you for Concord, and you missed the whole thing. That is the greatest. That's the greatest like love story in the world.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. So 16 days.
Sony can stop making Gran Turismo, stop making another stupid Uncharted movie. Make the Concord in space love story.
There you have it. That's it for the next game. So once again, you are correct.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Question number 4. Which lasted longer, Concord or the lifespan of a housefly?
Oh, it is a housefly. The lifespan of a housefly. I'm gonna go with Concord.
Unfortunately, in this case, a housefly life expectancy is 15 to 30 days, which outlasts Concord by 1 day at minimum.
Unbelievable.
So first one, but you're still in it. You're
just as horribly annoying as the housefly.
So next question.
Yeah.
Which lasted longer, Concord or the time it takes to renew your passport?
Concord. No, the passport takes way longer.
So not much longer. The passport, at the earliest, with an extra $60 fee, you can expedite it. It'll take about 2 to 3 weeks to renew your passport. So well done on that one.
I only know that because I'm doing it right.
Because they're insider information.
Nailed it. Insider trading. Right. Call me U.S. Congress. Buy NVIDIA. Hashtag not a financial advisor.
Yeah, not your advisor. Next question, Pez.
Yeah.
Which lasted longer, Concord or Taylor Swift's shortest relationship?
Oh man, should get Little Peasant here. I bet you would know this one. You know, Concord, because I don't trust you, T Swift. I don't.
Oh. In this case, Taylor Swift, even with all her boyfriends and songs about them, her shortest relationship was still 2 months when she dated Lucas Till in 2011.
Who's that?
He was on I don't know, some Hannah Montana movie I learned today. I didn't know that before. So incorrect, but
Incorrect. Dang.
You're still moving on to the next round.
All right, great. Happy to be here.
Which good answer, Steve. Which lasted longer, Concord or the filming of the Blair Witch Project?
The filming of the Blair Witch Project. No, wait. I think that only took like 9 or 10 days. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm just going to stick with my answer. The filming of the Blair Witch Project.
The filming of the Blair Witch, which was one of the first great found footage movies, took 8 days to film.
Damn it.
And it made $250 million, which is way more than Concord's revenue.
That's right. Concord only made like 200. Concord made like $1 million on a budget of like $100 million. Can you believe how awful that is?
It's wild.
That is so bad. It's so bad. Can I just throw out a stat here? Our average listenership is higher than Concord's player base. Just if you want to know that.
And we are bozos.
Yeah, we are to the extreme.
By the way, we're not like we know there's people impacted. This is just wild news, and we're trying something different. So next one.
Don't preface it.
Which lasted longer, Concord or the average time for a government shutdown in the U.S.?
Ooh, both are quite garbage.
And for those who don't know, governments just shut down because they can't agree on things, and then I don't know, they take the day off until they decide they want to get back together.
I'm gonna say Concord.
Ooh. So let's see. The average government shutdown lasts 16 days, which would mean that Sony would have to wait an extra 2 days to submit their tax write-off for Concord if they started concurrently.
Sons of guns.
All right, we are down to the final 3 questions.
All right, I'm ready.
Let's finish it strong.
Yep.
Which lasted longer, Concord or the 2022 Depp vs. Heard trial?
Which lasted longer, the Johnny Depp trial.
The Depp vs. Heard trial was a 6-week trial from
knew
April 11th to June 1st, and the trial went on. And Concord wouldn't have even made it through the prosecution section of this trial.
Nope, you wouldn't have heard any of the fun stories.
Fun fact, Depp was awarded $10 million in restitution, which is 10x more than the revenue from the 25,000 estimated sold copies of Concord.
Unbelievable.
So when you said that they had $1 million, that was my quick maths. I will say this next question is kind of how I got this idea. I don't know the person to credit, but just know that if you hear this, this is why.
I'll take the credit.
Fine. Which lasted longer, Concord or a carrot's shelf life?
Ooh, okay. This is a interesting question. Because carrots, root vegetable carrots technically do not need to be refrigerated. So they can have a good shelf life. But I am going to say that I'm going to say barely Concord is longer than a carrot shelf life.
A carrot has a shelf life of 21 to 29 days.
Wow.
Making it last longer.
I would have guessed if you asked me for a number of days, I would have said 13.
It also only takes 2 months to grow compared to 8 years and costs $2 as opposed to $250 million.
That's insane. Wow.
Last question.
Last one.
Which lasted longer, Concord or the timeline of Romeo and Juliet? And when I say that, I mean over how many days did the story of Romeo and Juliet take place?
Oh, Tybalt, you bastard. Let's see.
Bite your thumb, Pez.
I
do bite my thumb, but not as you. Not you.
I feel like that. How long did that take? It felt like it was like 5 days total, but I don't think that's true. I haven't read it. I'm not up on my Bill Shakespeare, if you
You
will.
didn't watch it with Leo?
I mean, like once, because Claire Danes was very
A
attractive in
dame.
that movie. Uh, but I also didn't like that they still spoke in like the old English, and it
Oh, I
threw me
loved
out
it.
of it. Did
When
you?
he pulls, instead of pulling his sword, he has like this like deagle.
No, I mean that was cool, but like they spoke in the old English style that threw me out of it. Also, John Leguizamo as Tybalt, beautiful. I'm
King.
gonna say the timeline of Romeo and Juliet lasted longer than Concord.
So Romeo and Juliet happened over the course of 5 days, where they fell in love and
That's
then
what I
died
said.
together. But you had it spot on. But historically, it's not considered as great of a tragedy as the launch of Concord in 2024.
Unbelievable.
So that has been our first episode of Which Lasted Longer. Thank you to our contestant Pez.
Thank you for having
I
me.
think you got about half of them right. So
I'll take
let
it.
us know again which ones you got if you think of any others. We will
That was
we will
great.
read them.
What
So
a stupid game that. Not the one we just played, Conquered itself. What a stupid game. And we talked about it last week on the show of who wanted this. And the answer, my friends, is no one.
So I will say, so I've been looking into it more, and there are people that are right now trying to get the platinum before it goes down. Do you know how they're doing it?
Yes, they are jumping off cliffs.
They are starting the game and they are jumping off cliffs as the fastest way to farm XP because they want the platinum, which is, I will say, as a trophy hunter, very cool.
Yes. The
Also,
I was on the online terminally today, and Reddit. So for some reason the GameStop subreddit sometimes pops up in my subreddit you would like. People are calling the store to try and buy the physical version. And GameStop won't sell it to them because it's out of their the SKUs are already off of their systems. So they are like, "Oh, what are you doing with the physical versions? Are you throwing them away? Which dumpster is yours that I can go dive into?" And they're like, "We don't have any. Leave us alone." And this is like a big thing with GameStop stores. Is people keep calling and they're like, "Do you have Concord? Do you have Concord? I want to buy it. I want to buy it."
I thought about doing that, so I actually found it at Best Buy. I online. Here's the reason why, here's the reason why I don't think it'll do well. People typically want to collect games they feel fondly of. This is not one. Yes, it's a new copy, but it's a new copy of a game that doesn't exist anymore. And even if it comes back, it'll make it worthless. Two things I can compare to: Brink. You can find new copies of that everywhere. It is worth $1 at max because the price starting doesn't go below that. And Overwatch. Overwatch is probably the most similar. It is not worth that much. New sealed. In addition to the collector's editions, it's just the value's not there. In newer games, the collectability is far rarer, especially for mainstream games like things from Sony. Typically, the ones I found that are like really rare, typically coming out of Japan, like Blue Reflection, which is kind of like Persona, like Gravity Rush 2. I do not think this will be a collectible game. Now, I could be wrong, and if I am, and you bet your college tuition on this, like sorry, I don't think this is a good investment opportunity if you're looking at games.
I don't think 20 years from now someone's gonna be like, "Remember the game Conquered?" Or like, Daniel Dwyer or some dork like that is gonna do some like video game YouTube documentary about it. Like that's just not gonna happen. It's just a failed game. It's just a game no one wanted that Sony pumped a bunch of money into that failed. Yeah. That's all. That's it.
Go buy $2 copies of Battleborn too, if you remember that one.
Yeah. Go buy
They're not worth
Battleborn. You know
anything.
what? Go to 3dadsonaconsole@gmail.com and just tip us some money instead. It'll go to a better cause than Sony. I can tell you that much.
It's I mean it's wild. I mean, if you think it's going to go up, that's fine. I don't think $40 leaves a lot for margin in terms of like holding on to that money where it's going to depreciate. I mean, what are you going to sell it for later? 80? Cool.
Right.
No. Like Deadpool is super collectible now because of the movie. Xbox One is 80 and maybe PlayStation 4 is like 100 to 120. Would you buy it for 60?
Right. So
like,
it's like,
okay, yeah, you
we're not,
but that doesn't exist.
Right. We're not talking about finding, little Samson at grandma's freaking yard sale that you can then sell for 10 grand or whatever,
Yeah. I don't think it's there. If you do and you try it, prove me wrong, because get the get the bread. But
Yeah.
I don't see it as a collectible
No.
thing. So I would not advise it. Again, not your advisor.
No.
But yeah, I thought I was gonna bring that point up too because I think it's people are trying to get it. It's like, what's the point now? If people are trying to get it because they're gonna try to get a refund and not have to refund the disc, smart. That if you can pull that off, let me know.
Yeah.
In the comments below.
3dadsonaconsole@gmail.com.
Well, I'm not.
Hey, Concord infinite money glitch.
Just buy copies of the game.
Buy copies
and
of the
then
game.
Get refunds and not
get
return
refunded.
the game.
That's right. And then keep the game, and then in 3 years, donate it to Savers because you're like, why did I buy this stupid game?
And
You
then
can't
I'll
play
buy
it
it.
anyway. And then Wabba buys it for $1.
For $5.
And then his wife gets mad at him in 5 years because he hasn't sold it. It's
the circle of life.
You, listener, are the downfall of Wabba's marriage in 15 years.
You're the upline.
Yeah.
I am one step before the last step, whether that's the trash or the end user. So
Hey.
once it hits me, it's already in bad shape.
You know what they say? One foot on the banana peel, right?
What are you, O'Doyle? What are you,
O'Doyle
banana
rules. Say one foot on the banana peel, the other in the grave. They say.
I've never heard that. Also, shout out to Pez's tweet, which said that we're going to talk about the con canceled game. That was very funny. And if you hadn't seen that tweet, drop it a like. That was good.
Thank you. Concord is con canceled. I mean, it writes itself, right? It writes itself.
That's crazy. And again, it's crazy how yes, we know it's impacting people, but also too, Redfall lasted longer than this, which is surprising.
And can I, for a minute, get on my soapbox?
Yes.
I'm sorry someone is being affected by this closure, but there are people affected by closures literally every day. So I'm sorry, but also I'm going to talk about it. If that bothers you, pick it. Step 1, pick it. Step 2, stick it. Pick it and stick it.
It's interesting. So when I first heard this, I was like, it looks like they're going to the Charleston Chiefs. I should have worn my jersey. Charleston Chiefs method of folding the team for write-off because that's what they're doing. So the reason why they released it, because there have been other movies. It was like Wild E. Coyote in Court or something. Like that was another one that never will see the light of day.
Right.
It was like Wild E. Coyote versus Acme, which sounds super interesting.
Batgirl.
Yeah, they will make
fully,
more money.
Fully done movie that they just burn away.
It's because they know they will make more money just dissolving and writing off the project than they will going through all the distribution channels and basically recouping whatever they can. And it's crazy. Again, we saw it in a Slapshot. That was my first reference with it's just cheaper to just fold the team, take the write-off than it is to actually sell it. And I mean, that stinks.
Yeah, and this isn't a reality. This isn't new in games. If it wasn't for Singapore putting money into Skull and Bones, we probably would never see it. It just never would have happened. But it did. It's still going, surprisingly, but still lasted longer than Concord.
I should have put that on.
It's just people don't want a $40 team shooter when you have all these free team shooters. Again, we've talked about it last week on the show. You have TF2, you have Overwatch, you have Valorant. Those 3 right off the bat are free team shooters. Why would you take a gamble to pay $40 for a team shooter you don't even know if you'll like?
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
People are like, well, maybe they'll repackage it and make it a free to play now. It's like maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But then you can't write it off.
Right. So,
and I think a $250 million offset, pretty decent. In terms of the books, that's going to definitely reduce their taxable income.
Yep.
Significantly.
For sure.
So, yeah, that stinks. I've lost money in the stock market too. I've made bad deals, but guess what?
That's life. That's what all the people say.
So, but crazy. So yeah. Anyway, that's all the stuff I had ready.
Great. I love it.
How long have we gone? I don't have because we started not at normal time. So I don't have a time.
Yeah, we're almost an hour in. One last thing before we go. Wabba plays.
Oh,
It's September. It is Jimmy Fund Let's Game time.
let's go.
You and I are big proponents of the Jimmy Fund. We have worked tirelessly, some would say, to be on the steering committee of the Let's Game, Jimmy Fund Let's Game people. What are your plans for Let's Game this year?
I definitely am going to be doing a stream or two. I need to figure out a few incentives. I do have some Bruins stuff around here and like some other things from my travels. I actually have a lot of like hockey hats, some of which are pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just going to be trying to, raise money for a good cause. We kind of all have a story from it. Actually, since last year, I have a family member, not me or my wife, my daughter, who is being impacted by cancer, and it sucks. And this more than ever, more motivated to do good. So it's different when you can kind of relate more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing my part, helping out how I can. We've got a lot of good folks who are getting involved, and yeah, it's just hopefully I can provide support how I can to some of the other streamers too, and try to put on a good show when I'm doing it. So
if you're interested in joining the stream or donating for the Three Dads team, go to Three Dads at Three Dads pod over on X. We will have a post on 3dadsconsole.com, and you'll be able to find the link. You'll be able to find the rest of the team members, Endless Days, Hike Shadow, Ride or Die, Waba, and myself. And we'll have all of our content schedules and links and all that stuff going. So last year the team raised $4,000.
Brent Gretzky. That was
Brent
me.
Gretzky.
That's what they call me.
This year Wayne has a knee injury, so the team's going to carry, but I'll be there to support him. And we're very excited and humble and happy to again raise money for the Jimmy Fund. So if you have a couple bucks in your pocket, don't buy Concord. Give it to the Jimmy Fund. Yeah, and let's do good.
Yeah, last year we worked with our friends at Outright Games. I need to reach out to them, and I'm sure they'll be amenable. If not, that's fine. We love them. But they every time we hit a certain goal, they actually donated some games to game stations that were at the hospital. So when kids were going through treatment, it was something to take their mind off of things. Now they've gone through a lot of new games recently. Some which I think would like be really good, like Bluey. I think would be the perfect type of game, get in, get out, like little bite-sized experiences for these kids and honestly adults. Bluey rocks.
True.
And they're coming out with like their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, so like this will be a really cool experience. I like that. Not only can we raise money, but we can connect them to some of our friends. And yeah, last year was really good, and they're really kind and good to their streamers. Like I went to an event. Me and Ryan live streamed it. I have to edit a video for that. Now that I remind myself, been a crazy, few months, but it's just a great way to like show support for like the people who are doing some of the work, and also to the they have like different events, where they recognize streamers and people who are going through treatment and all this. It's great, great org, especially around these parts. So it's gonna we'll be talking about it more. Thank you for bringing it up.
Of course.
But yeah, we'll throw our link, on our Twitter, and like I said, like Pez said, even if it's a few bucks, like it all goes, to a good spot.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, let's do some good. Let's eradicate cancer again. Waba's been affected. My family's been affected. A lot of people's families have been affected. So, let's do what we can to support those trying to do the best for the human race.
Well put. Well said.
Thank you.
See, I'm glad you brought that up, because then we got to end on a good note instead of dumping on
Sony and
several video games
crap
in a row.
I know. I like that we have a video game podcast, and all we did today was dump on Call of Duty and Sony.
Well, the only other game I played was like Stellar Blade, and like I will say, visually great. It's not my kind of game, so I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm playing on easy. It's just it's dodge and
counter and blah blah blah.
I will say I recognize that it's a great game. It's not my kind of game, and with NHL coming out, I'll spend a little bit more time with it. I think it looks great visually, and the soundtrack's great. think the voice acting's fine.
Mhm.
And when I say visually, I'm not talking about certain things. I'm just saying it looks like a great game. Gameplay feels fine, smooth. It's not my kind of game, so I'm glad I rented it, borrowed it. I've been on that wait list for 5 months. There were like 15 degenerates before me, and I'm
Shout
sure
out
there's many
libraries.
more after. I gotta see how many are on the list now. Watch it be like a list of like 20 people,
Is
and I'm the boss
one.
holding it up.
There's one more person, and it's
And it's
you
Pez!
again.
Let me renew this thing. So yeah, that's why I have. I mean, that's literally the only game I played after. So yeah, any final
Excellent.
thoughts for the folks? I know
No, just go
any last
donate
thoughts?
to the Jimmy Fund, and that's it. That's all I want you to do.
That's right. And yeah, thank you for coming, being hanging out with us today. This was again, we had some kind of weird, not just video game topics, but
We like to
it's
be
just
silly
interesting
every now
stuff.
and then. We like to be a
Yeah.
little silly, and when Court's not here, the reins are pulled off of us. When Dad's away, the mice will play, and boy, did we play!
And there's a lot of games coming out soon, so we're gonna be talking plenty of upcoming games and titles, and I know Court's gonna have some impressions on a game next week as well.
And
so,
then if you are listening
when
to
he's able to
this,
join.
if you're listening to this in the car on Thursday, September 5th, when you get to work, don't do it. Instead, go to 3dadsconsole.com and you can read Court's review of Astrobot.
That's right. Good plug.
Thank you.
If you had fun, make sure to subscribe to us on youtube.com/3dads-and-a-console. Also, as Pez mentioned, check us out at 3dadsconsole.com. Check us out on Twitter at 3dadspod. We should probably try to unify some of these things.
Agreed.
Now that I'm saying it out loud, or we don't have to, because let's fight the power. Thank you folks very much for your time and attention. Appreciate you being here. Do not overdraft your bank account, and if you do, make sure it's not for a sizable amount. And I don't know, pay your taxes. Bye, folks.
Taxes.
We'll
Bye.
see you soon. We'll miss you.